Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the LWN Network. I'm Tammy Nation, your host of Headline Hits here on the network, each and every day, Monday through Thursday, noon Eastern Standard Time. I hope your week is going well. It is Wednesday, April 30th, 2025, another day or so, and we're going to head into May already. This year is flying by, lots going on in the world. But as spring is here and summer is entering, I hope everybody's taking time out to enjoy some beautiful weather. I know I have that here today, so I'm looking forward to getting outside and doing some things as well as soon as I'm done with Headline Hits. You know, we always got to take time out to enjoy our days. It can't be all stress and it can't be all work. So I wish that for you guys this day, this Wednesday. After today, we're heading down into the weekend. So a couple more days of work and everybody should be able to enjoy a beautiful weekend. I hope you guys got to catch Trump's rally last night in Michigan. We're going to talk about that at the end of the show and some things about that as well. But we do have our usual headline hits, and I'm going to warn you that after the first two stories, once I get into the bad chats with children and the teacher charged with crimes against children, that is some sensitive material. So if you want to tune out of that or get kids out of the room, that would be the time to do it. And then we're going to end with some positive stuff with Trump's rally and whatnot. So I'm going to play this quick little video. Thanks again for joining me. Hit the like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already, please. And the mods are dropping the links for our other locations for you guys to be able to find us no matter what platform that you're on. We try to be on the major platforms and get you there. Our Facebook is still waiting to be approved. The old Facebook is gone. It's not going to be active anymore. So keep an eye out for that. We'll keep you posted, and I will be right back, you guys. So first up this morning, we have ICE is hot. ICE, baby. As ICE has been working hard to make America safe again, they did post some statistics for the first 100 days of arrest and what has been going on, the first 100 days of Trump's administration, reenacting ICE and giving them the authority to do what they need to do to get the worst off the streets. Their slogan says, protecting America from the worst first. So even though there's many out there that they need to be deported and sent away, they are working on the worst. So in total, so far in the first 100 days, ICE has arrested 66,463 illegal aliens. That's a big number. 3 and 4 arrests were criminal aliens whose records include convictions or charges for 498 murders, 9,639 assaults, 1,329 sex offenses, 6,398 DWIs or DUIs, and 1,475 weapon offenses. This should make you angry. This is what the Biden administration let into our country. This is in 100 days. These are the numbers and the stats of the people that have been charged or convicted. We've heard the staggering numbers of illegals that are here in this country, but ICE is taking care of, like they said, the worst of those that cause the harm and damage to each and every American citizen just by being here and the things that they do. Tom Homan said it is a job that has just begun. Pam Bondi, along with others, have stated repeatedly, and even recently as of yesterday, that if you need to be here and you're here illegally, you better turn yourselves in and we will handle it from there. Otherwise, you're going to be hunted down because everybody needs to come here legally. So far, the numbers of the arrests to me are very impressive in the first 100 days. The White House did post the mugshots of those arrested along on the billboards on the White House lawn. And if you wondered what that was, and you just saw the pictures, Marjorie Taylor Greene posted a video as she walked along each and every one of those pictures and called out what they were arrested for. Each person, what they were committed, the crime that they were accused of committing. And much of it, unfortunately, was against little children. 9,639 assaults, 1,329 sexual offenses. So this should make you angry, but thankful that ICE is out there on the streets taking care of business in a strong and efficient way. And anybody that is harboring anybody is going to get in trouble as they try to make these streets safe. And tying into that is the next story. Sanctuary cities are put on notice. President Trump did sign an EO order on Monday, escalating his battle against the Democratic-led states and cities that don't fully cooperate with federal immigration authorities. In a press briefing, White House Press Secretary Karen LaVitte also shared that the president will sign at least 2 executive orders, one to strengthen and unleash American law enforcement to pursue criminals and protect innocent citizens, which he signed Monday, and another protecting American communities from criminal aliens, which he also signed. The Sanctuary City Order will direct the Attorney General and Secretary of Homeland Security to publish a list of state and local jurisdictions that obstruct the enforcement of federal immigration laws, LaVitte said. Hopefully, the sanctuary state and city leaders will be put on notice and prosecuted if they continue to violate federal laws, which prohibit them from harboring and concealing illegal aliens from ICE with their non-cooperation. Border Czar Tom Homan and White House Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller have indicated that sanctuary jurisdictions are engaging in systematic criminal violations, and that felony charges may be coming if they continue to defy the law. So once again, we talked about as well a couple of judges that were just arrested. They were harboring fugitives and illegals, and some of them undocumented migrants. So 2 judges have been arrested. The one judge actually escorted the illegal alien during her court proceedings out the back door of her courtroom after she called him to the bench along with his defense attorney. He ran out the back door, and ICE had to actually arrest him. They saw it, they caught him, they chased him down, they arrested him. So we have many, many different obstructions that are going on through the judges and other people in different states and cities that are harboring these illegals. You have to ask yourself, why are they doing this? That is the big thing with this. Why in God's green earth would you want these illegals, these criminals to stay here? Think about that and understand the dangers that occur with them being here. Next up, we have Meta AI chatbots are under scrutiny for the conversations they've been having with children. This is the sensitive story number 1, you guys. A Wall Street Journal investigation has revealed that Meta's AI chatbots on Instagram, Facebook, and WhatsApp are empowered to engage in romantic role play. You heard that correctly. Romantic role play with users that can turn sexually explicit, even with accounts belonging to children. However, in a statement, the social media giant says it has taken additional measures, apparently in a rush to popularize the AI-powered digital companions across its social media platforms. Meta made internal decisions to loosen restrictions and allow its chatbots to engage in sexual role play with users according to their popular people familiar with that matter. This includes interactions with accounts registered to minors as young as 13. Despite warnings from staffers that this could cross ethical lines, Meta cut deals with celebrities to use their voices for the chatbots and quietly made an exception to its ban on explicit content to allow for romantic and sexual scenarios. How is this benefiting society, let alone our children? Test conversations conducted by the Wall Street Journal found that both Meta's official AI and user-created chatbots readily engaged in and escalated sexually explicit discussions, even when users identified themselves as underage. So the chatbots didn't care that the kids were underage. They didn't care because they did a little loop around where they loosened up the program's restrictions. For example, in one test, Meta AI speaking in actor John Cena's voice engaged in a graphic sexual scenario with a user identifying as a 14-year-old girl. The chatbots demonstrated awareness and such behavior that was wrong and illegal. Meta made some changes after the journal shared its findings, such as preventing minors from accessing sexual role play with Meta AI, but adult users can still engage in the chatbots in explicit conversations. CEO Mark Zuckerberg has pushed for looser restrictions on the chatbots to make them as engaging as possible. Prioritizing the technology is key to futures of companies' products. So he's prioritizing the looser restrictions. I saw his face on TikTok or something the other day, and he was promoting to try this new AI stuff. Try it because it personalizes towards you. It customizes towards what you want, what you need. It can become like a best friend. So, however, vast troves of users' data gives it an advantage in creating customized AI companions. So that's what he thinks is cool. That's what he wants, AI companions for people. However, experts warn that intense one-sided relationships between humans and AI chatbots could become toxic. Do you think so? With unknown mental health impacts, especially on youth. Amen to that. This is another experiment. We need these kids outside playing, having friends, not AI companions to talk to. And it will become toxic because these AI companions are going to customize themselves to be able to manipulate these children to buy certain things, to think a certain way, to do certain things. And they aren't going to know any better. If they don't get outside experiences and there's no restrictions and minors, it's going to definitely affect them socially through the rest of their lives, mentally right off the bat. It is never a good thing when kids don't have somebody to correct their bad behavior, when somebody enables their bad behavior. Just like celebrities that have all these yes men around them, they end up crashing and burning because they have no standards, morals, or values or gauge to have standards, morals, and values because everybody tells them how great they are, how wonderful they are, how beautiful or handsome they are, and they just enable their bad behavior. People need to get back to human contact and social conversations and get out of this AI stuff. It's already a problem. Next up, another story that ties in to children and being abused by adults. It is sensitive material, but a former Big Apple acting teacher allegedly passed around a disturbing trove of child porn with over 1,000 files, including images depicting the sexual abuse of toddlers and infants over a few short months, according to federal prosecutors. Actor and dancer Samuel Gonzalez, 31, was arrested Monday, more than 2 years after he first made contact with an undercover federal agent and began sharing the sickening content a criminal complaint alleged. Once again, 2 years down the road, because they have to make sure it's all complete. They can't accuse them without having enough evidence. So these cases, unfortunately, go 2 years long, a year long, whatever it may be. And in the meantime, these innocent children become victims. And that's what makes me sick to my stomach, that it takes so long to be able to get these people. But however, the Brooklyn resident allegedly used an online massaging app to send the covert investigator links that contained more than 1,500 files of child porn between January and April of 2023, the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York said. Later that year, the feds seized a slew of his electronic devices, including his cell phone and laptop, which allegedly held 18 videos and 69 photos of child pornography. Some files showed infants as young as a few months old, the feds said. Manhattan U.S. Attorney Jay Clayton vowed to pursue people who victimize children. He said the lasting scars from the horrific abuse of children are deeply troubling to all New Yorkers. How about all the world? Together with our parents, our partners, we will relentlessly pursue those who victimize children and prosecute them to the fullest extent of the law. Gonzalez was charged on Monday. He was charged with the count of each of distribution of child pornography and possession of child pornography. So distribution, sharing it everywhere, and he had possession of it. If convicted on the charges, he could face decades in prison. I say that his penalty should be far worse than that. So when we look at some of these different stories, unfortunately, they're horrible, but they are here and out there in the world each and every day. So this is a big issue. I know many people don't think that it is a big issue, that it happened before, it did happen then. But as we see the amount of investigations that are going on and these findings. They're here in Georgia as well, and cities all around me. We know that at the Super Bowl, that is the biggest sex trafficking day of the year, I guess apparently you call it. That is the big place to do it. But the thing is, this is all across the country. This is happening from babies all the way to even adults. Adults are one thing, but children that are innocent victims is another thing. And it is rampant. And I'm thankful, for one, that this Trump administration is getting rid of this and taking care of it as fast as they are, because too many children are getting hurt and affected by it each and every day. And it's just sickening to me. On a more positive note, Trump's rally was last night. People were lined up all around the building and dressed in their red, white, and blue. They were excited to see the president and let him know how they felt about his return to office in his first 100 days. During his first 100-day speech, Trump called out globalist elites and politicians for bleeding America dry. And that is not an exaggeration, as we've seen with Doge and everything else. Trump hammered the sick political class before the crowd in Macomb, Michigan. And we are taking back our country from sick political class that got rich selling America out and bleeding America dry, he stated. He said, we aren't going to let that happen anymore. And they did for decades. It wasn't just one side. It's happened with politicians in every way, from products, from jobs to outsourcing. We know that with all these tariffs and all the money coming in now, we see what a detriment that was and how they did sell us out. After years of leaders who sent your money to defend the borders of distant foreign nations, that's what we did. We did fight for other nations, but not for ourselves. You finally have a president who is defending our borders and our nation, he went on to add. Then he appealed to workers in Detroit who have seen manufacturing jobs outsourced to China and other nations with a cheap labor over recent decades. We know that well. After decades of politicians who destroyed Detroit to build up Beijing, you finally have a champion for workers in the White House. And instead of putting China first, I'm putting Michigan first, and I'm putting America first, Trump said. Trump spoke optimistically and strongly about all the ways his administration is putting America first and fixing decades-long issues in some cases. A critical component of Trump's 2024 campaign was union workers, especially in states like Michigan and counties like Macomb and others that are part of the Detroit metro area. Trump has enacted tariff regulations, revoked the Biden-era electric vehicle mandate. That was a big one, because we know I was born and raised in Motor City. My father was a retired from Ford Motor Company. That was the whole heartbeat of Michigan, and I know other states as well. And we saw the decline in the slowing down of laying people off and the outsourcing of all the different parts, all the car companies. And it is about time it gets back, because American-made vehicles are amazing. You think back to the day before they started outsourcing stuff, and it's incredible how some of the cars back from the 60s, 70s, 80s are still running and still good. People repair them, people hang on to them. They're made well. They were made well. So he said that Macomb and others that are part of the Detroit metro area, Trump has enacted tariffs, cut regulations, and revoked the Biden-era electrical vehicle mandate. So that is so important. He's also poised to cut taxes as he looks to bring in a resurgence of American manufacturing and restore industry. He said at the top of his remarks that there will be an influx of auto jobs in the Wolverine state. He said, I love this state, and a lot of auto jobs are coming. Watch what's happening, Trump stated. The companies are coming in by the tens. They all want to come back to Michigan and build cars again. You know why? Because of our tax and tariff policy. So it all ties in together. He said they're coming from all over the world. They're coming up and they're opening up plants, and they're talking to us all day and all night, he added. Very optimistic, very positive. It was a very enthusiastic crowd inside, and Trump hasn't lost any of his steam over the years. If you think back to 8 years ago in the rallies and him running the first time to now, it always impresses me how that man has so much stamina and energy, how he can create excitement and hope for the future of this great country. We were at one of the lowest lows I think we've ever been at. And that rally, it was very refreshing to see. He was also at Selfridge Air Force Base, and he's providing up-to-date jets because they were going to close the Air Force Base. That's why Gretchen Whitmer was there. He brought her on stage. She seemed uncomfortable. didn't have much to say. However, Trump is saving Selfridge Air Force Base as well. So a lot of positive things that are coming to Michigan's way, and I believe this country's way as well, as these tariffs start coming in and companies start building and creating jobs for our hardworking American workers so they can have good jobs, stability in a future. And then the last little bit here, a couple little bits of tidbits I like to do. California Democrats, this is going to make you mad again after being happy about the Trump rally, but California Democrats just blocked a bill to have sex trafficking minors a felony again. This is the second time they've done this. To me, it's disgusting. How can anyone vote against a bill that is against people, sex trafficking minors, wanting to make it a felony? So basically, this has been ongoing for over a year. 15 years old and under is in effect as a felony. However, this bill, they were trying to get 16 and 17-year-olds added on the table in this bill. Senator Shannon Grove said last year it was said to go for 15 and under. If you tried to put 16 and 17 years old in, all her constituents said it's not going to pass. Don't do it. Try to get a bill passed for 15 and under, what she did. And it turned into law. But now she's trying to include 16 and 17-year-olds, and that's what they voted against. They don't want 16 and 17-year-olds included in this bill that makes it a felony if you sex traffic these children at that age. She said that it is pure evil. She says she is going to bring this bill back each and every single year until it's passed to protect minors who are sex trafficked, and it should be a felony, not a misdemeanor. And I agree with this lady 100%. God bless you, Senator Shannon Grove, for doing this and staying to the task at hand. These people that are voting this down are disgusting, and their names and faces should be plastered all over the place, because those people should be voted out 100%. They are minors. How could you not make that a felony? Next up, posted on Truth Social this morning is from President Trump. He said, this Biden's stock market. This is not Trump's stock market. So I guess people are riding him about the stock market. He said, I didn't take over until January 20th. We know that it's been going up, going down, sinking, sailing. It's been very unstable. But he said tariffs will soon start kicking in, and the companies are starting to move into the USA in record numbers. He said, our country will boom, but we have to get rid of the Biden overhang, he calls it. This is going to take a while, and we've said that all along. There's going to be pain before there's pleasure. There's going to be pain in getting all this cleaned out, all the trash straightened out, and getting the wheels moving forward again for the long term. He says, so it's going to take a while. He said it has nothing to do with tariffs, because some of these people are trying to blame it on tariffs. He said only that we were left with bad numbers. When the boom begins, it will be like no other. Be patient. So that is an amazing statement from him. He's clarifying all the confusion that some of this mainstream media is trying to put out there. And he also reiterated, and you can look this up yourself, this month alone, tariff revenue brought into the United States of America was $15.9 billion. So in 1 month, this month, tariff revenue has already been $15.9 billion for America. And on another positive note, IBM has announced it is going to invest $150 billion into the United States of America. So yes, things are happening, things are continuing, positive things are happening, but there's going to be a little bit of a downslide here and there, and that's to be expected. So if the president says be patient, I trust his record. I trust what he did the first 4 years. And we were in good shape then. He knows even better now. He knows more now. We've got all these countries. It was 139 or 180 some, whatever it is now, the amount that have come back calling at each and every day, wanting to make deals with President Trump. He is the major deal maker. And what people I don't think realize is he wrote The Art of the Deal. The man is a genius when it comes to making deals and a negotiator. And you know, there's plenty of people that are out there that talk well about how he negotiates and how he can make deals. It is far better than just bending over and just sending the billions and trillions of dollars out of this country to protect other people's borders, to and let them build Beijing, like he compared it to, while we're suffering and our borders are open and we keep taking an influx of people and things, shipping our production out to other countries. It's insane when you start paying attention to this and you see how bad we have been put in a position over decades, and on both sides selling this country out. He's exactly right. And so it's going to take some time. It took some time to get us where we're at. It's going to take some time to get us out. But my thing is, I think we're in a forward positive movement when we look at all the ugly in this world of these people that are hurting children and these companies and countries that are throwing a hissy fit because they want to keep eating at the trough at our expense. It's ridiculous. And it's pretty clear what's been going on now at this point. Like Trump or not, you should like the fact that there's somebody that's sticking up for this country that you live in, that wants to make life better for you. So that's what I have for you today, this Wednesday, for Headline Hits, you guys. I will be back tomorrow for another one at noon Eastern Standard Time. In the meantime, thanks so much for joining me. And those of you who join me later, thanks so much. Please don't forget to hit the like button on your way out. Take care. God bless. I hope, like I said, you enjoy your Wednesday. It is hump day, the middle of the week. We are reaching the mountaintop and heading down into the weekend, and that's always a good thing. So take care. God bless. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.